There you have it, 300 hours. Now I can do my 300-hour review on it. Got just a little bit of grappling work to do, but then when I get done, I'll go over my 300-hour review on the tractor. So check it out. We're at 299.8. So once I get all this taken care of, we should be at 300 hours. We got some shrubbery to pick up. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see the screen or not. There we go, looks like I got most of it. Cool. Gonna dump this off. There's 299.9. So I got a 1/10 of an hour to go. There you have it, 300 hours. Now I can do my 300-hour review on it. All right, we got the little bit of work done that we needed to do. So let's talk about the 300-hour review. We are sponsored by TYM. We have two TYM tractors on the channel, the T574 and the T224. 224's got 100 hours on it or so. And so people will make the comment, well, if I had a free tractor, I'd talk good about it too. Well, there's a couple of issues with that. Number one, it's not a free tractor. These videos take money to make. These take time to make. And it's my job. And I'm working. I said, just because my work and your work look different doesn't mean I'm not working. So if you're a truck driver, if you're working at a plant, whatever, you're making a product. My product that I make are videos about TYM tractors. The second problem is probably the biggest problem I have with it is people that say that question my integrity. Just because they have integrity problems doesn't mean that I have integrity problems. And I say this all the time. I say I got a lot to answer for when I get to heaven. Lying about a tractor ain't going to be one of them. You know, I don't have to lie about it. And for someone to say, well, you're sponsored by me, of course you're going to talk good. This ain't nothing but a TYM infomercial. Those type people, you just pass on and you don't give them no time of day or whatever because they have no idea what they're talking about. So let's talk about the T574, what I like, what I don't like after 300 hours. All right, let's start with well, I'll tell you what, let's start with the front and work our way to the back. Okay, here we are at the front. One thing I have done in the 300 hours since I've had the machine is I have bent this handle. Now it does not affect the function of the quick attach, so it still goes up and down, so that's not a problem. But this is how it's supposed to be right here, and I bent this one, and it was totally my fault. So that's what's happening there. Then you move on up, and I say this about most tractors anyway, the grill guard leaves a lot to be desired. So that's why we put a grill guard protector on ours. So you can see we've already bent it. We've already bent it here and down in there. So there's a lot of stuff that gets pushed up against the front end. So these tractors, they just don't come with good grill guards, and TYM's no exception. They just, they don't make a good grill guard. One thing I was thinking about when I was going to make this video was I should have had the bucket on here. My bucket has a smiley face in it, and it's just, I wish they made stouter buckets. The metal on the bucket could be a little thicker, could be a little stronger. It still works, but it's aggravating because it's got a smile in it. Yeah, you could put it. I've actually got a piece of railroad track and a piece of I-beam. I could probably put that on a trailer, chain it down, get the bow out of it. Or I could probably buy like a Piranha tooth bar and bolt it on there, and that would take the smile out of it as well. Matter of fact, I think I might do that. I might do it by a cutting edge or a Piranha tooth bar, put it on there, and that would take the bow out of it for sure. But I wish they made heavier duty buckets, you know. I keep my tractor halfway cleaned. I grease it all the time. I've added the paint stripes. I wish they would put valve stem covers on it like some of the other manufacturers do. This one doesn't have it, but I wish that was a standard option for all tractors. The bolts have paint marks on them as well. I have seen these come loose, are not as tight. Just keep an eye on that. Nothing going on with the front end there. One thing that these mirrors stay super loose all the time. And then on the other side, I lost that jam nut on this side here, and it comes around. Trust me when I say it's pretty weak. It hits a limb and it goes everywhere. But this is the other side here. I put it through its paces. I painted this white to help me not lose it. Let's see. It does have 2 remotes in the back. I added hydraulic top link. I do have a hydraulic side link on order. That's going to come in 22 weeks. I ordered it from Fit Right Hydraulics from Brian, and he was such an awesome dude to deal with, but he's 22 weeks out. And so you order the product and you wait 22 weeks, and hopefully it gets here. Let's see, this is August, September, so 4 months, November, October, November, December. I'll hopefully have it this year. If not, I'll have it first next year. It takes a while for the windshield washer fluid to get to the front wiper. I have added a camera. I love this feature here. This raises and lowers your 3-point hitch. I think this should be a standard option on every single tractor that is ever made. The rear end, nice and beefy. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I say I hate sight glasses, and this one come with a dipstick, so we're good there. I added John Deere hydraulic dye to my fluid so I can see it a little better on the dipstick. I don't know if it showed up on camera or not. This is the backhoe subframe for the T574. The backhoe is like a BH200 if I recall. This is what I don't like about the backhoe subframe, is I had to get a different drawbar, because the drawbar that comes on the tractor fits nice when you buy a new tractor. When you put on the backhoe subframe here, then your stock or your OEM drawbar doesn't work anymore, and you have to kind of figure it out. Because this is 1 inch here, your stock drawbar is 1.5 inches, so it doesn't fit in this groove right here. So this is actually come off a 1943 John Deere bulldozer. Crazy, huh? But I love the telescopic lift arms here. That's a good feature. Makes it real easy to line up with your implement, so that's no big deal there. That's a nice feature. I'm excited about my hydraulic side link. That's gonna be nice. I don't have any breaks, any cracks, nothing like that. You know, a few scratches there that can be buffed out. That's plastic. That's fiberglass hood, but you've seen videos of me putting it down in the woods, and it does not, it hadn't cracked or anything like that. So let's look under the hood here. We'll take a gander under it. For 300 hours, I have yet to experience a regen. So my tractor has not performed a regen at all in 300 hours. So this is what it looks like here. The engine looks good. But I keep it, you know, I keep all the radiator clean, and I just bush hogged for about 3 hours this morning. So I cleaned it off while I was bush hogging. You got to do that. I'm up on the cab and see what we got going on here. Before we go into the cab, I'll mention that, you know, we got 300 hours on it. 0 issues. I had a leak on the rear drive or the front drive shaft that came out of the transfer case, where somehow like baling wire had got caught in it and just wore out that seal. And so when he took the transmission, or when he took the drive shaft out of the transmission, he's like, oh look, you got baling wire, you know, wrapped around your axle there. That is literally the only issue that I've had in this tractor. The cab is super spacious. There's no issues with the cab. Very comfortable. Close this. It's got an AC. AC blows super cold. It does have a radio. Now people will ask, well, every time I see you in your videos, you're wearing like earbuds and stuff. Well, that's because I'm a sound diva. Okay, I don't like the sound of these speakers right here. They do work. Let me see if I can turn on the power. I don't even remember how to turn the power on. Let me see if I can get it to a radio station here. I won't play it long because you'll get copyrighted, you know what I'm saying? So, alright, I'll turn that off now. So it does work. You can get phone calls on it. Like I say, the air blows cold. The wipers work. The washer works too, but it does take a while for the juice to get to the front. My headlights do work. Here I keep the power supply for my camera, my front screen. So when I need it, all I simply do is plug it in. I plug in the power to that, and the screen comes on. That works. I keep my 12-volt charger here. I plug in like my cameras, Bluetooth headphones, things like that. You see that's still working, 300 hours. You do have a remote for your radio. I keep it in here. I don't know if it has batteries in it or not. I never use it. If you ever poop in the woods, got some got some wipes. Oh, let's see. The windows work good. These are your return vents here. Your dome light works good. Looks like you got some type of hanger for a net, like a hat maybe. So one thing I've done here is I put keepers in the side windows. So the side windows go out, you lock them in place, which is a good thing, right? You do that, everything's cool, get some ventilation in here. Then when you close it, if I haul the machine, it may have the tendency to open that window. So what I do is I just put a keeper in there. Now the window doesn't work, or now the window will not come off. And I've done the same thing on this side here as well. Just put a little keeper on there. Mine is a hydrostatic. You go through the info, setting at 168 degrees, 167 degrees, 13.2, 300 hours. I have yet to experience a regen. I think I mentioned that already. Here's your dash buttons. This is your cruise control. That's a pretty cool feature. This is your def regen. It lights up when you need to regen. This is your info, which toggles your screen here. Not very exciting screen, just your temperature, your volts, and your hours, your fuel. Then when you do that, it's just your hours and your speed. Your tack is over here. Hazards are over here. On the PTO side, or on the right side, you got your hand throttle, but your tractor does go forward and backwards, faster or slower, depending on how hard you press the pedals. Here's your manual and automatic PTO. That's a great feature. I love that feature. And this is how you turn your PTO on and off. This one does have an inside mirror. If you don't have a mirror on the inside of your tractor, especially if you have a cab tractor, you're missing out. You will not believe how much you use this mirror. It's crazy. One thing it does not have is a sun visor, and I wish it had a sun visor because that would be muy bueno, as they say. I do take the mat out often, and so that boot probably needs to be under the mat. But your diff lock, this is for your 3-point hitch. Now, let me talk to you about the lever here in a sec. Here's your range selection, and here is your four-wheel drive lever back here. This does have armrest. That's a nice feature. I like having an armrest. You use it often. Let's take a look at this side over here. So here's your third function here. I like this better than the rocker. And then it works good, open and close there. I like it. Some people take their lever and turn it 180 degrees so that the bend is back toward them, because they feel like the throw is a little long on this side. It does have a float function, by the way. I did that for a little bit and ended up not liking it. It was just too close to my thigh, my right thigh. So I set it back out to where it was, you know, standard. Does, like I say, dual armrest. Here's your levers or levers for your hydraulic top link, your two rear spools. Then I use this spool when I carry my bat wing to raise and lower the wings down with there. Here's your 3-point up and down, and a draft control lever as well. I use this button often. You can see how the stickers are scratched up here. That's because that's where I take and I set it right here, tighten her down, and that's where I want my bush hog to sit. 3 cup holders. You really don't need 3 cup holders, but unless you're a YouTuber, so you can put your phone and your camera and all that, then you have a third cup holder. I absolutely love this tractor. There's some things that we talked about in the video that I would like to see. Most of everything that I have an issue with is really just operator preference, you know. But, you know, people ask me all the time, would you buy it again? Man, I love this tractor. This tractor is awesome. It does every single thing I need it to do. It's a powerhouse. It's dependable. It's reliable. And then we also get, you know, I mentioned earlier in the video about guys saying, well, if I was sponsored by TYM, blah, blah. Well, there's some more comments that I get that just, it makes no sense to me. Come back when you got 10,000 hours on it. I don't use this every day to row crop. I don't use it to, it's not big ag stuff. It's not going out in the field and planting and fertilizing and disking and you know, planting and harvesting. It ain't doing that. That's not what this tractor is designed to do. It's a compact tractor for a homeowner, homesteader, that's going to do some land clearance, going to do, you know, moving stuff, you know, bush hogging. I'm not going to do 6 days a week, 7 days a week of planting and harvesting and fertilizing. It just, these guys crack me up. Oh, come back in 10,000 hours. This tractor will probably never see 10,000 hours on it. You know what I mean? So it's not apples to apples. The big ag guys get in these compact videos and it's not a real tractor. It is a real tractor. It just it's not a big ag tractor. And it just drives me crazy when they say that kind of stuff. But anyway, I love this tractor. I love the 224 that I've got. It's just it's zero issues. Been in the shop one time because I run some wire around the drive shaft, which we talked about earlier in the video. So if you fast forwarded to this part, you may have missed that part, but I run a wire through it around the drive shaft. I'm going to do another review at 400 hours. Then I'm going to do another review at 500 hours. It's a really good tractor. I tell people all the time, just because they sponsored a channel doesn't mean, let me tell you something. If they sponsored the channel, if I was a partner with them, this is something that you really need to know for real. If I partnered with them and their product was garbage, we would not be partnered together anymore. I would tell them to come get their machines and take it off the property, because it's not, your morals and your values and your character and your integrity is way more valuable than a piece of equipment. When people talk about that kind of stuff, listen, your character is a lot more important than a piece of equipment. So if the TYM tractor was not a good tractor and not a good company and didn't have good dealer support, then they would not be on the channel. It's just that simple. We've been partnered with them for, well, a year and a half now, and coming up on our 2-year mark with our TYM contract. Depending on when you watch this video, we may have already hit that mark. So I'm telling you, I'm a big fan of the TYM. I highly recommend them. Go watch Tony's Tractor Adventure. He's a big advocate for them. He's also an honest guy. So the TYM has, I want to say seven YouTubers. Let's think about that for a second. Me, Tony's Tractor Adventure, Nathan from Out of the Woods, Evan from Country View Acres, Josh over at Stony Ridge Farm, Al from Lumna Acres, and then Daniel over at Arms Family Homestead. So that's 7 influencers that they have on YouTube that they have partnerships with. You know, those guys, I know every one of them personally. I personally know each one of those guys. Each one of those guys are stand-up guys, and they're honest guys. So please don't buy into that stuff. And if you guys want to, you know, feel the urge to make that kind of comment, you know, your comment's just going to sit there. No one believes you. Don't fall into that trap. It's important to have a product that you can stand in front of and say, I love this thing, I highly recommend it. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. I'm sorry about that. If you have a TYM dealer close to you, go check them out. And okay, you're going to have the onesies and twosies. Oh, I got 7 hours on my TYM and the frame broke. Okay, yeah. Same thing with John Deere. Same thing with Kubota. Same thing with Coyote. Same thing with every Mahindras. Every one of them break. Every single one of them break. Just cause, yeah. So don't take that into consideration as well too. Well, I'm not buying a TYM because my uncle's second cousin's brother-in-law had a friend that had 7 hours on him and broke the frame on it. Okay. I've got 300 on this one, 300 hours on this one, and nothing has happened to it. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt is what I'm telling you. TYM T574 300 hour review. It's a great tractor. If you're looking for a 55 horsepower tractor, man, I'm telling you, you've got to get your hands on a TYM. They're fantastic tractors. They're comfortable, they're reliable, they're hardworking, and I hope to be in a TYM for a long time because I really like this tractor. Anyway, I hope this helps you out. I hope you saw a little bit of some of the stuff. If you're researching getting a TYM 574, go get it. You know, I've had a lot of people email me asking me, hey, you know, off camera, do you really like your TYM? Yeah, I do. I really do. I like it a lot. Gina loves the 224. We use that thing around the shop all the time. The farm. We use it around the farm all the time. So I appreciate it, you guys. Go buy your TYM T574. It is hot out here. I am going to go back inside. I'm done with this video. Watch this one right here. It's really awesome. Take care. God bless.